The 50 Waddle Dees you've saved work together to rebuild Waddle Dee-liveries. Enter present codes to get special items. The 50 Waddle Dees you've saved work together to build Kirby's house. It's your home away from home. The 60 Waddle Dees you've saved work together to rebuild the Waddle Dee Cafe. How fancy! Wonder what's on the menu. You can now play Waddle Dee Cafe Help Wanted. Work fast to serve a line of hungry locals. Welcome back to more Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Last time, we entered Everbay Coast. So this time, we're going to check out a few new buildings around Waddle Dee Town. First of all, we have a house now. If you need to rest, a quick nap in this cute little house ought to perk you right up. So yeah, we now have a house. We have a little book here. And this is a list of past adventures going through the Switch and 3DS era of Kirby. Unfortunately, it doesn't go back to anything before 3DS, so this is a fairly limited list of Kirby's past adventures. We also have a little bed where we can actually sleep. That acts as a free health restore, and we also have a fireplace, but I don't have fire, so we can't light it yet. Over here, we have a cafe, featuring two main features. One, we can actually buy food, and two, we can play a minigame. We'll go through the minigame at a later time, but for now, let's talk to the Waddle Dee here. Welcome to the Waddle Dee Cafe, the coziest little bistro in town. You can grab a bite here and recover your health. We sell all kinds of tasty treats. Think you'll need a snack later on? You can order food here and take it to go. You'll bring that to-go order into stages as a stock item. Then you can save it until you're in a pinch. You can only carry one stock item at a time, though. Just keep that in mind. So Kirby, what can I get ya? So we have several options here. The Car Mouth Cake recovers some of your health. Kirby Burger recovers some of your health. Energy Drink recover a lot of your health. And the Maxim Tomato recover all of your health. Maxim Tomato, got it. That'll be 100 star coins. Would you like to eat this here, or take it to go? Thanks. You'll hold your to-go order as a stock item. When you need a pick-me-up, hold down X. So yeah, we basically have a healing item in reserve now, which is very helpful. So we also have this place here. Hey there, this is Waddle Dee-liveries. We bring delivery presents right to your door. Just enter any present codes you find, and we'll ship the related presents in and drop them by your house. Speaking of codes, there are a few present codes hidden right here in town. See if you can find them. Also, some present codes are shared through online announcements. We can hop online to claim those. Want to see how it works? Sure you do. I hid a present code on the wall of the house across from us. Go check that wall and try to find it. Any present codes you find in town can be entered and claimed offline. Pretty nifty, eh? Oh wait, I should have asked this first. Do you already have a present code you'd like to enter? Connecting online to locate delivery presents. Okay, go ahead and enter your present code. So there are codes all around town, and several that are obtained elsewhere. So there are actually 2 codes for clearing the demo of the game. The first code is clear demo. I'll go over the ones in town at another time. Aha, that code checks out. Your delivery present is already on its way. Look for it in front of your house. So periodically, I think I'll work on entering a variety of codes. So we have a present here. Unfortunately, you can't enter multiple codes at a time. You have to redeem the present first. A delivery present arrived with this present code, clear demo. You got 300 star coins. Alright, so there is one more code from the demo, but I think I'll save that for later. For now, let's head over to the world map. So we're starting out in the natural plains once more, but luckily it doesn't take too long to get over to Everbay Coast. And our next stage is right over here. Scale the Cement Summit. I remember this stage being pretty fun. In general, I was talking about this a little bit before, but I do like how the actual theming of stages is still retains the overall theming of the game itself, if that makes sense. Basically what I mean is, even though we're in a tropical area, the previous level was a grass area, so we have like very traditional Kirby biome types. However, I do like how all of them keep the sort of industrial, abandoned city atmosphere. So this being tropical, also, you got the Cutter Needle blueprint. Now you can evolve the Needle ability. Take it to Waddle Dee's weapon shop. So you can find various blueprints around the world in specific stages, which is very cool. We have to keep an eye out for those because upgrading our abilities will make our lives a lot easier. We have another locker to tear down, hiding a Waddle Dee. So this is our first Waddle Dee of, I think, 4, I guess, in this stage. Not too bad. This stage I remember giving me a little bit of trouble, but overall it's not too terrible. Also, one of our hidden objectives is to find wanted posters, so we have to keep an eye out for that as we make our way through here. So there are 3 wanted posters. Alright, so moving on to the next area. We have a healing item and a choice between Cutter and Ice. While I would normally pick Cutter, there is a mission associated with Ice. This is Florina, a new mini-boss, who has not been in any past Kirby games to my knowledge. And there is a mission to actually freeze Florina. To freeze a mini-boss, you basically just have to keep attacking with Ice, and you can see the boss is gradually freezing. But will break out if we don't attack continuously. I may not actually get this mission just because it's a little finicky trying to actually freeze a mini-boss. Like so, the ice broke again because of reaching the halfway point. So yeah, this isn't great, to be honest. I remember this mission giving me a little bit of trouble. It wasn't too terrible, but it's just a little bit scary actually dealing enough damage quickly enough to freeze the boss. It's a little tricky. I wonder if there's a faster way to do this, like if you use the charge-up variant, like by mashing the button, if that's more efficient. Because otherwise, this actually seems pretty specific. Also, when the boss actually freezes, it'll deal a ton of damage, so it is good to actually try to freeze bosses. Yeah, we're not actually getting this mission because the boss is just giving us a hard time, not actually freezing. Maybe? Wow, we actually, I think, are going to barely get it. Wow, that was close. Made it right before the end of the fight. Anyway, now we have Tornado. We already technically saw a Tornado earlier, but in the Howl Room, but I didn't actually pick it up there. Tornado is typically a fairly overpowered ability, and guess what? It's kind of overpowered here, but again, most abilities are actually pretty solid in this game, which is actually cool, because it doesn't mean that, other than some exceptions, in general, you can get by with most abilities. We have another time challenge here. If we use Tornado, we can quickly make our way up these ramps or these stairs over to the Waddle Dee with plenty of time to spare. That's number 2 for the stage. By the way, when you press Y, or the attack button, after picking up various items like enemies or stars, you can actually press Y to basically launch them forwards to do a little bit of extra damage, which is part of the reason why I feel like Tornado is actually a really strong ability. We have a secret area where the final mission is. You have to basically make it to the other side without taking damage from the spikes. It's actually not that bad. As long as you have Tornado, it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, that's no problem at all. And with that, I think we're good to go. We have one wanted poster left to find, but I know exactly where it is. So let's keep moving. Up here, we actually have another transformation with this arch. We have a flight section. If you press any of the shoulder buttons, you will invert up and down. So if you prefer inverted flight controls, you can go with that. Honestly, I'm fine with normal controls, to be honest. But it is nice to have the option. If you press Y, you can do a little spin attack to defeat enemies. We can also fly through these rings to collect some extra star coins. This is fun. Overall, it's not too difficult, I find. We have to veer right here to get this red ring, which I think gives us some extra star coins. There is no mission for going through all the rings, which I'm a little bit surprised by. I was actually genuinely kind of surprised by that it's not really required for anything. It just gives you extra star coins, which is helpful, but the actual final Waddle Dee is hidden behind this breakable wall over here, leading to a secret path with the Waddle Dee at the end of it. So we have found all 4 Waddle Dees. All that's left is the wanted poster, but again, I know exactly where it is, so we're good to go. If for some reason you missed the Waddle Dee and want to try the stage again, you can take this blue warp star to head back to the starting part of that gliding section. So this is the last wanted poster, so let's get rid of that. And we have completed another stage. All Waddle Dees rescued, and overall that went pretty smoothly. I actually remembered all of the objectives this time. Radio. Cannon. Next up is the stage. Fast Flowing Waterworks. This stage is honestly pretty fun. I actually don't remember where all of the hidden objectives are though, so this might be kind of a problem. I guess we'll see as we go along. Alright, so we have a little sparkle up here, so let's actually activate that. This was just star coins, so I was kind of hoping that would be the first of the secret objectives, but it wasn't. Let's switch over to sword. This actually might be a mistake, for reasons I'll go into later, but it might be fine. We have a little sand sculpture here with a coin, nothing over here except this little crate with a star coin. We have 3,000, almost 3,500 star coins, but again, once we actually start spending them on things like all the upgrades, and trying to get all the capsules, things will definitely, we'll definitely run out of money at some point, but there are ways to very easily get money, thankfully. Let's get this cherry, since we did take some damage, and there is a Waddle Dee between these little arches, so we have to sort of slip through and rescue them. And might as well get some coins while we're at it. Another little glowing spot. Is this the one I was thinking of? I think it is. So, this is one of our hidden missions. Eat 3 tins of fish. Also, I missed a star coin. Alright, so we have a sort of like canal of sorts that will carry us very quickly through if we drop into the water. Later on, we actually have to be a little careful about falling into the water. It's fine right now, but soon, actually right here, we can't fall into the water as part of a mission. I actually don't want to power up. I think I'll be better off just using regular, no power Kirby. So yeah, don't fall into the water. That is a mission. Trying to be very careful here. Bomb actually might not be a bad choice for this. If I can actually toss the bombs into the water. Maybe it's not a good choice. Maybe I'll just do this. Now I think maybe bomb will be okay. I do like how the bombs have inner tubes as well. Just a nice little detail of how they can float without like the fuses going out. Alright, so we made it without falling into the water. Win the battle without falling into the water. We have another blueprint. You got the chain bomb blueprint. Now you can evolve the bomb ability. Take it to Waddle Dee's weapons shop. Alright, so we are collecting a lot of blueprints. We'll have to stop by at some point to actually upgrade all of these. There's another sparkly spot over here, so let's check this out. That is a blue star coin. I want to say those are actually worth the most, so definitely worth going after. I see a capsule under, or behind that thing, but I'm trying to figure out what that opened up. I think it's here, actually. Alright, so we have another ring and a boat. This is interesting. Is this the one I'm thinking of? So we have a very simple maze of sorts. We have to go right, left, middle in order to actually get to the Waddle Dee. The other paths are dead ends. Overall, not too difficult. You have plenty of time to spare even if you do get turned around. But yeah, we managed to get through, no problem. Nothing else here. The cans of fish are what I'm worried about, by the way. When a lot of objectives are hidden behind the little sparkles on the ground, that's why I start getting a little bit more concerned about being thorough, especially after the Arrival Mall and getting really turned around there. I've been a little bit paranoid about some of the collectibles and just missing things and having to go through the stages again. So I remember this area. This area is kind of interesting because we have another hidden objective. We have a goldfish down here. Find the golden fish. It also gives us star coins, which is great. But basically, we have a series of puzzles involving the stairs transformation. I also realized that it'll say the name of the transformations in the top left over the health bar like it will with regular abilities, so that's the stair mouth transformation. One interesting detail is in co-op, Bandana Waddle Dee will actually ride on top of the stairs and can actually throw spears. So even though Bandana Waddle Dee doesn't directly have all the abilities that Kirby does, he does get some unique actions as well. I haven't actually played the game in co-op myself, but I have seen some co-op gameplay. And the person who plays Kirby definitely gets a little bit more to do compared to whoever gets to play Waddle Dee. I messed up. I actually need ice for this. Luckily, there is another ice power right over here, so I didn't completely lock myself out of this, thank goodness. So let's head over here and extinguish the flames and see what's actually behind here. This is the second can of fish. So we're actually on track, because I actually remember where the last one is. So we are good to go, which is a relief. In general, I do feel like this game actually benefits in some ways from not being as co-op intensive as Star Allies, because Star Allies was so focused on co-op that I feel like it almost had it almost caused the single-player experience to suffer, while this game is very much single-player focused, and the co-op is almost kind of like an afterthought. So yeah, I do prefer this as someone who typically plays games single-player. Also, both of those stair puzzles reveal a Waddle Dee each, so now we have number 3 and number 4. We're definitely on track here. To tell the truth, I actually don't remember where the last Waddle Dee is, but I know where the last can of fish is, which is frankly the thing I'm more concerned about, oddly enough, because I feel like the Waddle Dee is a little bit easier to find in general. So we have a very fast section of water here, but luckily, ice has a unique property. If you're Ice Kirby, you can actually skate along the water, making this a little bit easier to actually traverse. I definitely would recommend ice for this. Even though ice isn't even one of my favorite power-ups, it is really well suited for this particular stage. It's kind of like Drill earlier. That's the last can of fish, by the way. Also, I realized that I referred to the power-up as Mole, I think is what I said. I meant Animal, like from Squeak Squad, because that was like based around digging. And Drill is like kind of more of an efficient version of that in terms of like being able to dig through a lot more quickly than like Animal, which was a little bit slower by comparison. Yeah, like Ice and Drill are definitely okay powers. They're not really good offensively, but they're actually kind of good for mobility in specific stages. But generally, you actually don't need these abilities very often. Some abilities, like the combat-focused ones, are more like universally helpful, but some of these are just mainly for mobility, and that's all they're good for, which is why I tend to go for like sword, hammer, fire, abilities like that that are more like universally helpful. Alright, so we have a little tunnel here, which should lead to the goal. There we go. We have not a whole lot here, actually, other than the end of the stage. I was kind of thinking there might be a secret here, but I guess not. Alright, so I think we got everything here. On my first playthrough, I definitely fell in the water because I had no clue that was an objective. But overall, the stage isn't too bad for the completion requirements. Gordo? Car? The Waddle Dees helped you open the gate that was blocking your way, head into the stage, and challenge the boss that's guarding this territory. So we're not ready for the boss quite yet. First of all, I want to check the stage list. So there are two treasure roads that we actually have to find on the world map, and also we need Chakram Cutter for one challenge, so we actually can't do this one until we upgrade Cutter. We're not going to worry about that quite yet though, because we still have a couple more challenges, or at least one more challenge actually all the way over in Natural Plains. Or do we have two? I thought we had two over here actually. Yeah, we have Ranger and we have Ice. I actually think I'll start with Ice. Actually, no, we'll go with Ranger first. Ready, aim, fire. Distant targets. Alright, so this one's fun. The target time is, I think, a minute. And we basically have to very quickly destroy various targets using different types of shots. The really charged up shot will actually break through a ton of stuff at once, which is very helpful. Like so, or like we did previously. This is more of a precision target practice there. Here we have one behind there, so let's go for that one first. I was hoping that the blast radius would be a little bit bigger on the one, but I guess not. Somehow that still worked, and I'm actually kind of impressed. The toughest part about this one is the lock-on wants to go for the enemies. It doesn't want to lock on to the actual targets. Other than that, it's not too bad. Alright, so with 10 seconds to spare, we got another rare stone. And I think we still have time for one more, so let's head over to the ice treasure. Freeze and Fling, skating on ice. This one uses the Ice Storm move by mashing the attack button to slide. So we basically have to slide through to quickly go down the slopes. Other than that, this is a fairly straightforward challenge. You can move a little bit while you're sliding. You're not like committed to a direction, which makes this a little bit easier that you can kind of course correct. You're not like, yeah, having to commit to a direction entirely. The target time for this one I think was 40 seconds, which isn't too bad. Actually, this is pretty easy if I'm not mistaken. We're already at the goal, just have to get through these enemies, and we're good to go. Alright, so that should be the last rare stone of the Natural Plains area. And with that, we'll finish up the main stages of Everbay Coast next time. Adventures get me so excited, especially when I'm with you, Kirby. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Kirby and the Forgotten Land.